Yes, good evening, guys. We are live. So, we try to do some settings here and there. Yeah, so welcome everyone to our today's live session here on YouTube. Yeah, so if you can see this live stream, please comment below so that I can know. Comment below so that we can get to interact. Hmm? Yeah, you know it's very very hot right now, so I'll be switching on and off AC. I'll be switching on to cool down the temperatures and switching off to ensure that there's minimal noise. Yeah, so let me know. I don't know if you can hear me, guys. Also, I'll have to check on my sitting position. Yeah. Let me see if there is guest. So kindly join so that we can get to interact. Let me share the link to other platforms so that we can all go together. So 1 minute I share. One minute I share the link. I think I have to on Bexy. Yeah, okay. So now I've finished sharing the live to other platforms, and I think we're going to start straight away. So today we wanted to talk about Kuwait and everything about Kuwait. As far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I live and work here in Kuwait. So uh, this is going to be my own experience, and the video is just for entertainment purposes. It's not a legal advice or nothing. It's just for entertainment purposes. And this is my experience since I came here in Kuwait. And my journey started in Nairobi, where I was living in Nairobi. And then after some time, uh, I thought that I should travel to another country specifically for greener pastures, to look for greener pastures. So me coming here in Kuwait at first, it was not because of anything else but for greener pastures. Yes, in Nairobi where I was working, and I had a life, though it's not like that big life, but I still had life. I maneuvered here and there. I was working, and my last days before I came here in Kuwait, my last days before I came here in Kuwait, I was working in. I was self-employed. First, I remember before employing myself, I was working in electronic and gas shop store in Nairobi. But then I left that job I resigned and then I started doing my own things for like about 2 years of hard work until when I realized that Nairobi it wasn't favoring me anymore. So I started looking for ways on how I can move to another country. My first idea was going to the United States, but traveling requires a lot of arrangements. So the first thing was getting money for visa application for the whole process. But because I used to watch YouTube videos from other channels that were talking about relocating to USA, though I didn't have any money or anything to support me with the journey. So what I did, I just kept on having faith and believing that one day maybe I'll be able to relocate. So I kept on motivating myself every day, in out, day in, day in out. So, but then after researching all the requirements for getting visa and the whole process of relocating, I thought that it can be quite be difficult thing actually to relocate to the USA. So I had to go with plan B, and plan B was to look for a country here in Gulf. Either, but my first thought was Qatar. Qatar. That was my initial thought of relocating after USA. So I started looking for jobs in the state of Qatar. But as I was looking for jobs, uh, the jobs that I got, the agencies they were requiring a lot of money, and that time I didn't have money. And let me make you laugh. To make the matter worse, I didn't have even passport. So my first thing to do was to look for money to get myself a passport, and I worked hard. I really worked hard so that I can raise the amount. Those time it was during the time of COVID, so you can imagine how difficult it was to get money for even getting passport. But I managed to save for some few months, and then I did my application. And then I had to wait for almost 3 months before my passport came out. So every day I was checking on the e-citizen to see if my passport had been produced, until one day when I found that it was ready for pickup. Then I I went to Dandora post office to collect my passport. The one I remember, it was one Saturday. I think it was Saturday, if not Friday afternoon. I couldn't wait. So after getting the passport, the next thing now was to look for money for paying these agencies. I didn't know that I can even apply jobs online or something of the sort. So I had to, after getting now the passport, the whole process now began for look for jobs. Uh, when I was not going to work, at the CBD, looking for these agencies that they were recruiting, you know. So I was going from one agency to the other in Ngara. There's this building near Afia Center. I can't remember the name. I think it's in between Mfangano Street also, and there are other. agencies in Moy Avenue. There are so many agencies. I visited all of them asking for job, and the jobs that I was getting, it's for Saudi Arabia, others Dubai, Qatar. But the thing is that they were asking for heavy commission, and I didn't have money at that time, so I had to wait. But before that, I actually got a job offer for, I think it was waiter. I mean waiter in Saudi Arabia. So I went for the interview. The interview was being conducted online. Hey, so the lady was interviewing us. It reached my time. Then they called me. I went there. The interview was being done online through a laptop. So the lady, after she asked me several questions about my name, my career, what are my skills and experience. So the first interview I passed, I was very very happy. So the next one, it was after 2 weeks. So I first of all I waited and waited and waited to receive a call from the agency, but they didn't call me. Only for them to call me after 2 weeks. And the day that they called me, there was also another recruitment in Uhuru Park, also for Saudi. I cannot remember the position, but there was another recruitment in Uhuru Park for men only. Hey, and that garden, it was full of men. So by the time I got there in the morning, I found thousands of men there waiting to be recruited, and me, I was in the line. So we were making lines according to the categories. If you're applying for driver, if you're applying for storekeeper, if you're applying in the hotel, restaurants like that. So me, I went in the position for hotel, for waiter. Uh, I don't know. They just all they did is that they just told us to drop CV because we are very many. We are about 5,000 men only. So I dropped my CV, and then by the time I was dropping the CV, by the time they reached me, it was around 4 in the evening. After staying there from morning around 8 o'clock, I managed to drop my CV at 4 in the evening. So after dropping my CV, I went home and then waited for them to call me for the next process. But uh, remember, the other agency had called me to go for my second interview around in a building in Mfangano Street. So when I went there the following day, that lady was conducting interview online. She was a Arab lady. So uh, it they called all people who came before me, and then it reached my time. So I went to the laptop, and then when she called my name. She told me to speak to tell her about myself. Then she said she cannot hear me, and that was all. So my chance, I knew it was gone, just like that. I did not give up. I just went home and stayed and continued looking for more jobs in other agencies like that, for almost now 3 months without getting job. Until when I came across another agency in Gara, and they were also recruiting. So they started the process of recruiting, and then we were called for interview in Kahawa Sukari. We went there, we did our interview, and I remember the interview was around November. But before the interview, we had stayed almost 3 months. The agent was telling us, you wait, you wait. There's interview for Qatar jobs, for men for security, and we're going to call you for interview. Hey, we waited for 3 months for us to be called for interview, you know. And after waiting for 3 months, so the hiring team, they came to Kahawa where they were conducting the interview. So it reached my we were staying somewhere outside with our in a tent. So we had to give our CVs and passport. And after giving dropping your CV and passport, you wait for them to call you your name. So you are being called two people like that. So after they call your name, you go inside the first floor. You go in the first floor. There was a receptionist there. Then she asked for your name. She guide you on how to say and how to do during the interview. Then after that, you go to the first room. There was a Arab guy. First room there. Then he asked few questions. If you pass, he tell you to go to the next room. If you fail, he just tell you to go back. You know. And if you fail, when you go back there, you take your passport. They tell you they'll call you. You know. Then you just go home. Nothing else. But if you pass, you go to the next guy. So to the next interviewer. So for me, I managed to pass the first interview, and then they told me to go to the next room. I think I had so much courage. So what basically they were looking for is the courage, you know. Yes, I'm in Kuwait, Ahmed. So what they were looking for is courage. So in I went in the second room where I was being interviewed, like now the technical questions for security guard. They asked me where I worked, my experience, if I've worked in this job before. I told them yes. They checked my height. They told me to smile and so many things. So after that, uh, they told me congratulations, you've passed the interview, and we have an offer letter for you here. So this is what we're going to offer you. They broke down for me the basic salary, the everything, the type of job, the company, and all that. So they took me through that within a short period of about 5 minutes or so, and then they told me to sign the contract. So even the salary, everything, it was there. I did a barista course. Please make a video of that course of coffee making in Kuwait. Waiting. Uh, okay, for me, I don't work in a barista shop or house, so I cannot be able to make a video regarding to barista unless you want me to talk about maybe salary or the working environment for barista. But at the moment, I'm not working as a barista. Yeah, so uh, where were we? So after I signed the contract, I went to the reception. They told me to wait to keep my passport there. They're going to call me. So after that, they continued interviewing other people. And then for me, I went home. It was around one 1 o'clock in the evening. So I went home very happy. You know, very happy now that I've gotten job. I'm going to travel. But you know what? I didn't know anything about Kuwait at that time. So I went, took my phone. So even the following day, I didn't go to work. I was on YouTube researching about Kuwait, everything about Kuwait, uh, like generally everything that whatever I wanted to know about Kuwait. So, but much to my surprise, I didn't get any like African or Kenyan talking about anything regarding Kuwait. So, yeah, the salary and the working environment is what I mean. Uh, According to what I know, and the baristas that I see here in Kuwait, actually, barista is one of the is one of the good jobs here in Kuwait. And for baristas, they usually make quite good amount of money or salary. They get good salary because uh, first of all, most of them they work between 8 to 9 to 12 hours per day, and maybe with one day off or two, but most of them maybe one day, 8 hours, 9 hours, with a salary of 200 KD up to all the way even to 400, depending with the type of company, type of contract, and also the experience. So, but most of the baristas that I know, because I'm in a barista group and I usually see them advertising jobs, and sometimes they usually uh, hold, they usually train people to become baristas. So they usually I see them posting jobs and the salary and the working environment. So actually, barista is one of the best jobs to do here in Kuwait with a salary of 200 to 400 KD. No, thank you, bro, for that clarification. Soon join you to Kuwait, inshallah. Ahmed, where are you? Where are you located? So uh, I did not see anyone. I did not see any African making videos or talking about Kuwait. So I was watching videos from other people, Americans, English people, and other nationalities who were talking about Kuwait. And the videos that I was seeing Kuwait, it's a good country. I saw all the law of Kuwait and everything I wanted to know, and I felt so good. So after doing my interview, I waited for some time around December. You know, I did my interview in November. So around December, I was called and told to go for medical. And when I was booked for medical, I stayed for about 1 month. So I kept on calling the agency to ask them regarding my process. They told me to wait. I wait for my medical results so that they can come out. And once they come out, they start the process of getting me a visa and all that. So after almost 2 months, after almost like 1 and 3 weeks after they have elapsed, the secretary, the lady who was in charge of us, when I called her, she told me that the following day she would be going to the embassy for her to attest our documents, our traveling documents, the visa, the medical results, and everything. So after that, I asked her in the evening if she have managed to do it for us. She said yes. So from there, she told us to wait now for the ticket, and we waited for about a week or 3 days, if I'm not wrong. Then she called us. We were already in our WhatsApp group for the people who are to travel. They called us. We were about 9 people, 9 or 6. So they told us to go to the office. We went there. They guided us everything. They told us everything that we are required to do. And the day of traveling came. So first we were handed our documents together, the passport and the visa and our medical results. Some they were in an envelope that we were told not to tamper with it, not to open. We'll just handle the envelope to the immigration officers once they ask them. So we are not required to open them. So after that, the following day, we had to go to the airport by ourselves. We were 6 guys, and that I think that morning, the first thing we did, we went to do our COVID test. So after doing our COVID test, the results came out after I think 24 hours also. So after that we went, took our documents, and then I waited for the following day to travel. So the D-Day came and we met. I met with my colleagues who were traveling together with at the airport. That's why we met around 4 in the evening because I think our flight it was supposed to be at 7 o'clock, but so when it reached 7 o'clock, we did our check, clearance check, and everything, and then the flight departed. As soon as the flight departed, it incurred a technical problem. So when it was about to fly, it had to go back and wait because I think the flight had a technical problem. So we had to delay for about 3 hours, 3 hours, and then we took off. So after taking off, we went and arrived in Ethiopia. So after arriving in Ethiopia, we arrived around 12 in the midnight. So because because we were late if in JKIA, we missed our flight. So the flight that we came with had to book us a hotel in Addis Ababa. That's why we slept the whole night, and then the following day we went back to the airport in Bol International Airport, and then we waited for a flight now to Dubai, and it was very long journey. From Ethiopia to Dubai, it's not a short journey. So we went from there about 4 or 5 hours from from Ethiopia, yeah, Addis Ababa to Dubai, 4 or 5 hours. So by the time we were arriving at Dubai DHB airport, it was around evening, you know. Hey, and the way Dubai airport it's very big. As we are not even conversant with the airport. We didn't know even where to catch our next flight. So we spent almost 1 hour looking for our agency, like the the flight that we were supposed to take from Dubai to Kuwait, until when one guy came and directed us to fly Dubai offices. So we went there only for us to realize that our company did not book for us tickets. eh. So now at this moment we are in Dubai. We are stranded there. We don't have tickets to reach Kuwait from Dubai. So the HR had to book for us another ticket from Dubai to Kuwait. So we had to wait there almost another 2 hours. And at this particular time, already it was around 8 p.m. at night. You see. So when we were cleared, we showed them our tickets that we've been sent. Then we were allowed to board Fly Dubai. So from boarding Fly Dubai, we flied about 3 hours until when we arrived here in Kuwait. So that how the journey from Kenya to Kuwait was. So we arrived here in Kuwait at 1 o'clock. The guy who was supposed to the coordinator who was supposed to pick us from airport, he came. Actually, we found him waiting for us there, he was holding a placard with our names, like yeah, with our names. So he asked us if you are the one he's waiting for us. Then he came and picked us. So from there we went straight to hospital to do medical. We did a short medical and also we did the COVID test. After that, then we were taken to our accommodation. We traveled almost like 1 hour from the hospital. So again, we traveled like 1 hour. We reached our accommodation around 2 p.m., 2 a.m. I mean, and then from there we found another guy in the office. He he welcomed us. We were given some money for advance. I think it was around 30 KD, and also some SIM card. He was selling SIM card. So we were shown our rooms, our everything, our beds, and everything. And we found everything in place. Then we went, and there was this camp security guy. He organized for us food. He bought for us food for 1 KD, like that. And then we slept. The following morning, he came and woke us up. We went to take photo for ID. We took ID photos for the company, and then uh, later during the day, the HR came to brief us and show us like what we're supposed to do once we get deployed to our various working locations. So after he briefed us, we went back to the room, and then we had to be quarantined for 2 days. I remember it was still during the period of COVID, so we had to go for quarantine in our rooms for like 2 days. Then after the lapse of 2 days, we were given uniforms and shown who are going to be our supervisors and briefed about the location that we're going to work and all that. So after there, on the third day at 10 o'clock, no, was it 10? It was 9. So everybody went on his way. Me, I went with one bus that was going to Sulabikat. So that was my first location here in Kuwait, and it was during winter season. Hey, let me tell you, the culture shock that I experienced, it was on another level. This was my first time traveling outside Kenya. So the culture shock was on another level, guys. And when I was taken to my first location, remember, it's just you, your colleagues, and the driver. So the driver dropped me on the road, by the roadside. He told me, go inside that mall. That's where you'll be working. Hey, when I went inside that mall, I didn't know where exactly I was supposed to go, but I was told Center Point, and I didn't. At first, I didn't even understand what is Center Point. So I went inside there. I started asking the security guy who I met in the mall. I think he was Egyptian, and he didn't understand English. So when I was talking to him in English, he didn't answer me. He was just looking at me. So those are one of the challenges that I faced on my very first day. So I waited for about 1 hour. Then I called my supervisor. I told him I cannot find the center point. He told me, okay, wait there, someone will come to pick you. Then it was then until one guy from the store, he came and picked me and told me that you're going to be working here. So from that time, I went to the office. They took I registered, I logged in, and I started working. Hey, let me tell you guys, after staying for some hours, like 3 hours, one guy came in the store. It was a clothes store. So he came and went in the men's changing room. He started, those clothes they had cheap for security. So he went and cut all the ships, and then he wore the clothes. So when he was getting out, one of the sales guy, he saw him. Then he called me. He told me there is Alibaba. Me, I didn't know what is Alibaba. I was not knowing what is Alibaba. Asked him, Alibaba? I thought it was, there's this app called Alibaba. So I thought maybe he's asking me about the app. Then he showed me there's a guy inside there. Oh, that's when I now understood he was meaning that there's a thief in the store. So me, I thought when you catch a thief, I thought at first I thought it's like how we usually do things in Kenya when you catch a thief. Let me tell you, I saw the sales guy told me don't touch the guy, go and call manager. Me, I didn't know who was the manager, so I told him you go and call him. So when the manager came, he gave the guy who came to steal things in the store. He gave him seat like this one. He told him to relax there. They talk. He was talking. He was shouting because the salesperson said that he came to steal. So the guy was shouting, and he was an Arab guy. But they talked with the manager. Much to my surprise, I've never I did before. I didn't see anyone talking to a thief. You take action, but here it's very different. So the manager started talking to the guy who sold things. They talked there. They went to the office, and then they solved the matter. You know, and that ended like that. So from there, me I said, if anything happens while I'm at duty, all I'm going to do is just call the management and tell them this is what have happened. But taking any other action beyond that, I won't do that because I was so surprised. eh? I was very surprised. So that day even I think I was not even carrying food. I went inside the cafeteria. I took coffee there, and the day ended. My duty was 12 hours from 10 to 10. So when 10 o'clock reached, I took my bag. Then I went outside to wait for my driver. Then I was having my driver's number, but he was an Indian and he was not speaking in English. So he kept on talking to me in Hindi, and me I didn't understand what he was talking. So what we did, I caught him on video. Then he showed me the surroundings where he was waiting for me, and then I went there. So when I went inside the vehicle, we were not even talking. We were just there. He was listening to his Indian songs like that, and I was alone in the. Remember in the morning when we were going to work, we were many, but because other guys they were in another location, and my location was the last one to finish job. So he came to pick me alone. So that how was my daily schedule from 10 to 10. He came to pick me alone. It was like almost 40 kilometers to and fro, 40 in the morning, 40 in the evening, like that. So I worked there for 2 months. After 2 months, I changed. I went to another location. I became very conversant with the environment. I got used to everything, to the workplace. I started learning some Arabic, you know, some common words. Wherever I had someone speaking in Arabic, I remember I had downloaded an app that would translate. So if I hear one word, I write it down, then I go to translate to see what it's meaning. So I came to learn little Arabic like that. I started interacting with other guys. My first 2 months, I did not interact with anyone, even in the store, even in the manager. Like the manager of the store would come and pass me in the morning there. I see, oh, he have come. Okay, well and good. He go and do his business. I do my business. When it reach evening, I I I log out from there's somewhere we were signing in. So I sign out. I go home every day like that for almost 2 months. So that guy, the manager there, actually we were not in good terms. Uh, this job we were doing only for the 12 hours. We had break like for 40 minutes only, and the whole time. it's just standing. Guys, I don't know if there's someone here who would like to join me. You can check. I'll send a link so that you can join. I don't know how I'm going to send. I'm going to send the link on the comment section so that if you'd like to join, you can join. Yeah, this one. So from there, I changed location. I went to another location. I worked for almost 9 months, and during my first, immediately after I changed my location, I also got overtime, and that's when I started doing my first videos. If you can remember, like 2 years ago, there's those videos that I did. You can check them down there. How I started making more dinners on top of my normal salary and all that while I was working day and night and all that stuff. But that's it's long gone. So I stayed there around 10 months. There's a link here. You can join me if you want, so that we can interact at personal level. Let me. I don't know if I can be able to send it again. I cannot send one in the on the guest. So while I was working for while I was working during the day and night, around August, I started falling sick, and then I was admitted. Actually, I was admitted at hospital here in Adan for 1 week. So when I recover after I recovered, that's when I stopped working for overtime. I came to know that health mattered a lot. So I stopped going for overtime and did only my normal duty for 12 hours only. Though while I was working overtime, the money was good, but I think what made me to fall sick it was the AC. The AC it was very strong there where I was working at night. So I think that what made me to fall sick, and also fatigue. I think so. Because while if you're working for all those hours, maybe you sleep like 2 hours, you wake up, you sleep another 2 hours like that. Yeah. So up to there, I don't know if someone has a question. Yeah, so that's how I came to adapt. After that, I left that place. I went to another location. You know, while you're working as a security, you're not stationed at one place. You keep on changing location. I even went. I remember after there, I went direct to Saudi Arabia border there in Kiran, somewhere in Kiran there. No, now it's very hot, so you have to keep on moisturizing. So I think we'll continue with this topic, with this discussion next time. It was pressure interacting with you guys, and I look forward to engage with you more on live sections as the days go by. So until then, I beg to end this live there. I'll do part two of this. tomorrow, maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So it was pleasure to interact with you guys. If you have questions, you can always comment them. You can always post your questions on the comment. I always answer comment section. I always go through them every day. And by the way, thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers. It's a very big milestone for me since I started doing like YouTube videos. You know, at first I was doing them for myself to keep myself busy and to make myself happy. But since I see that you guys, you are more interested in what I do, that's why I drew my motivation for making more videos. And if there's anything else that you would like us to discuss, you can always comment on the comment section or interact on me on Instagram. I reply all every day and always on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on TikTok. Yeah, so I wish to see you next time, guys.